Um, Good afternoon to everyone, and we are very sorry for not being able to be live in this important event. But anyway, we are representing Technalia. My colleague Igone Revilla and myself are part of the innovation innovation manager of the 4CH project, and we will give you a very short description about this important project. So, 4CH is a European project aiming at building a European Competence Centre for the conservation of cultural heritage, including different aspects, mainly conservation of heritage linked to the management of European cultural heritage, also the valorization, and also the prevention of a major risk for our heritage. So the goal of this project is to set up the methodological, procedural, and organizational framework to launch the Competence Centre from the point of view of the operative issues linked to the ICT tools, basically legal aspects and financial aspects. And the Competence Centre will create a European network of national, regional, and local cultural institutions to provide advice, support, and services. So the main stakeholders, well, the 4CH is conceived as a marketplace in which the offer and demand will merge. So we consider the stakeholders, heritage professionals and managers from the private and public sectors, and also the investors and donors as main target stakeholders. The structure of 4CH and the future Competence Centre is established in different levels. In the first level, we have the European Commission and also the governing board formed by the founders and also members, and the strategic advisory board. I will enter in detail on the advisory board later on. Then we have a next level, that is the operational structure of the Competence Centre, formed by the executive committee and the different departments that will offer the services of the center, together with the supporting structures, basically the ICT tools and the cloud. Then we have a next level with the national networks that will deploy the Competence Centre at national level, and finally the different users of the Competence Centre. Then within the project we have some steps to arrive to the Competence Centre after the start of the project. We have the definition of the concept, then the establishment of the tools and services that will be the core of the operational level of the center, then the definition of the economic and strategic plan, the fine-tuning of the structure, and then the kickoff of the Competence Centre. The consortium is formed by different partners, usually of all Europe or a big quantity of countries within Europe, but also it is very important the advisory board made of high-level experts that will act as project ambassadors, also will give advice to the project, will enable contact with society and provides feedback. The Competence Centre has been established as an infrastructure dedicated to share knowledge, infrastructure, and services in a holistic view, including aspects, first of all, excellence is very important, also knowledge transfer in an interdisciplinary framework, also a collaborative approach and standardization. For that, we need different competences and tools like scientific data, information technologies, like artificial intelligence, structural analysis, etc., which will conform the different experiences and successful stories and best practices that will be shared through digitalization in the 4CH cloud. It is services that will be offered in 4CH has been established at 3 levels. The first one is counseling and orientation, the digitization and standards and guidelines, so including aspects like analyzing experiences, skills, and best practices, mapping risk, also create interdisciplinary networks, and provide standards and guidelines. Then the second level is the level of training, also through training materials and sharing of best practices. And then the third level is to support in innovation projects through innovative services and tools, facilitating access to finance of EU funds, also support use and reuse by SMEs in the case of data, and work on establishing a bridge between 4CH and European Commission.
Thank you, Isabel. Now, my name is Igone Revilla. I work with Isabel as well in the project. Now I'm going to give a more detailed overview of the project, how we are been working in these 3 years to be able to arrive to these main objectives of creating the 4CH, the Competence Centre. The main goal of the project is to set up the methodological, procedural, and organizational framework of the competence centres to be able to work at the European, regional, and national and local level. The main 5 objectives, which are the first of all establishing the methodological framework for the centre. The second objective deals more with the design and implementation of the platform to support this collaboration among all the European cultural heritage institutions. The third objective will be aiming to increase and improve the digitalization of the cultural heritage to be able to support the conservation. The fourth objective aims to develop the best practices to make full use of all the data. And the fifth objective is the definition of the structure, operational, financial, and all the legal structure and conditions of the future competence centre. Now we are going to see how the project, the different phases and the different work packages are organized, and we'll just give a very brief overview of each of these work packages. There are 8 or 9 work packages, and they are organized in 4 different phases. Initially is the concept phase, then the assembly, then the fine-tuning phase, how to learn from the second phase and adapt it to the final phase that will be the kickoff of the Competence Centre. The first work packages deals with the definition of the requirements and the activities of the future competence centers. It's very directly linked with Objective 5 and defines how the experiences, the skills, and the best practices will be collected and analyzed to gather all the conclusions to identify the real user needs of the cultural and heritage sector. There are four main sub-tasks that deals with the best practices, analysis of the risk, the technologies to be applied, and finally to identify the user needs. The work package 4 it deals defines the operational structure of the competence centers, and it's addressing the existing network of European competence centers and knowledge centers, identify the methodological procedures and organizations that can best apply to the 4CH, and set the basis of the internal and external operational and organizational structure. Work package 3, it's the implementation of the operational framework and will complete the Objective 2 that will focus on the implementation of the platform based on ICT solutions and will be mainly focused on 3D, HBIM, and semantics, and that will create great potential for the dealing with the 4CH cultural heritage big data. There are 6 subtasks in these work packages as well. The work package 4 is directly linked with work package 3 and deals with the service deployment system. And this will make use of the structure for defining the services offered by the competence centers. And it will give, tribute to Objectives 3, 4, and 5 of the competence centers, and it's organized in 4 different sub-tasks. Work package 5 will deal with the data management and recommendation of the guidelines. There are lots of different repositories and different I would say standards of data, and the idea of 4CH is to work towards the standardization of the data and to ensure that all this massive data is collected in a way that it will increase interoperability with different sectors. Work package 6 will deal with the policy and financial sustainability and will define the financial and the legal infrastructure of the future European Competence Centre. There are main 2 tasks. One will deal with the governance and the legal structure of the centre, and the other one will define the strategic plan, the business, and the sustainability plan for the future of the centre. And both tasks obviously have to be directly linked. And finally, the last 2 work packages are the general packages, but not less important, for the communication, dissemination, and cross-fertilization, and also the management of the project. This work package 7 of communication, dissemination, and cross-fertilization, it's ensure the visibility of the 4CH, ensure that we can present in events like this, that we can actually make it more open to the public, and also be able to include situations that arise during the setting up of the project that will include the activities of the 4CH and will make 4CH more relevant, like the case of this event today. And finally, the project management that will ensure that all it's done according to the European Commission requirements and manage all the communication with all the partners in the project. So hope you find this presentation useful, and thank you very much for your attention. Thanks.